where the sun fades behind the fight. Every scar is a story, every tear is a flame. In this game of survival, nothing stays the same. We break, we fall, but we rise again. Through shattered hopes and the cries of men. Through the darkness, through the pain, we'll build again. We'll stand through the rain. The trials may come, but I won't bow. This is my fight and I'll make it somehow. The road is long, the nights are cold, but the dreams I carry burn like gold. In the chaos, I found my place. A spark of hope in the empty space. We've lost so much, we've given more, but through the trials we'll restore. Through the darkness, through the pain, we'll build again. We'll stand through the rain. The trials may come, but I won't bow. This is my fight and I'll make it somehow. Every fall, we learn to stand. Through the darkness, through the pain, we'll build again. We'll stand through the rain. The trials may come, but I won't bow. This is my fight and I'll make it somehow. Make it somehow. Make it somehow.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pax Dei. Empyr's search for steel. We caught Emphyr on top of a mountain across from his home. He is hunted, and he's been hunting for a long time. He's got a lot of hides that he needs to go prepare, but more importantly, I can show you a pro tip before we start. But welcome tonight. I think we're at 81. Crazy. So we'll do some plot planning for Pax Dei strategies to organize the land for efficient use and resource management, plus a little bit of anticipation for upcoming mods or development. Also, we're going to I'm going to dive into reason, what it is, how to use it, and its significance in gaming, leadership, and life. A lot of people I don't think, get taught actual reason. So I thought it could be a fun topic. So for now, let us put the first question in the chat. And if there's any Paxians, what's the most strategic land layout you've seen in Pax Dei? Or how do you define reason in your daily life? And let's share it in the chat in the comments. All right, so pro tip before we start. I picked up some random wood because I'm out of wrought iron arrows, and I can make wooden arrows anywhere I want. And since the bow is at 40, these wooden arrows do a lot more damage. So for every little bit, you get 5 arrows, and they'll replenish you for a decent amount of arrows until you get home. Across the way is where we're going, but I wanted to say this is the Wyvern Peak, where the guessing it's a wyvern, but pretty cool. And this we call the Tree of Yggdrasil. I don't know. It was somebody who in another clan, and they were like, "Yeah, it looks like," and I was like, "Yeah, that's perfect. Let's keep it." So they hold will-o-wisps. There's also, look down to the right a bit, and I'm going to circle it. That is 2 direwolves. 2, I'm not sure I can take them out of Lither. 1, yes. 2, not sure. If I can pull just 1, that would be kind of cool. But I don't know if I can get just 1 because they're kind of tight on that. They're both 24s. Maybe now. Ooh, I didn't get him. Let's see. Ooh, he's down there. Ah, I can't get him with these arrows. I'm not close enough. It's not that they are the wooden arrows that I know of. Whoa. I see where they're coming from. Okay. Well, that was almost death. Be careful when you're doing the parkour. I found a way over without having to deal with those before. So, cool. We're gonna go. We're gonna do a little gaming before we get to see the. I would love to. But I don't think these arrows. I think these arrows just suck. Yeah, I'm not gonna get them. But I don't think I can get over there. Let's try a different path. We can continue to hunt. There we go. That's not what you do when you get full is you just take what you have empty spots for. In this case, I'm taking the skins, and that's what I'm out here for. Is there a boar here? This is the wildlands, so the boars are actually decently tough. And they've been beaten with shield. The smithereens. This is my second shield. But I am here to increase my weapons as well. Sometimes the icons don't happen, so you want to look at the bag. I don't think I can get up there any... Well, can I get up there? I don't know. Let's see if I can run up. Oh, I can. I'm gonna turn up the sound just a little bit so you can hear the will-o-wisps. They're little fairies, little will-o-wisps. They don't do anything just yet, but I think they will have a purpose. But they have butterflies around them. They're fairies, basically. In the myths, I believe the will-o-wisps actually guided you into the fairy realm. Let's see. Let's go down this way. Because I'm really close to my house, but I don't want to fall to my death. I've been up here before. I just gotta find a way down. Did I get down? Was it over here? Maybe I came up this side. Just to give you an idea of where I came from, I was all the way over there. I thought there was a way down over here, because I thought it came from the island direction. Or did I? Or did I? This is what you do in Pax Dei to find the path. A lot of times, paths are not shown to you. many hit points do I have? See, once I get to a certain point, I will be falling. And right now, the damage isn't exactly predictable. So it's really annoying. Looks like I'm just gonna have to... Oop, that sucks. I tried to sprint down and I just totally took that the wrong way. Alright, let's see if we can swim across. There should be a badger to my left. And a bear. I think I can take the bear. Let's do a little hunt before the episode. These arrows don't do anything to a bear. Sword does a little bit, but I'm trying to work my sword up a little bit, so this is all leveling my sword. Thought I was up at 40 with this one, but I'm not. Gotta get away from that tree. Because when you fight a bear, it's all about timing. Timing and not being too aggressive. You can be aggressive, but just not too aggressive. Every hit is experience points for me. Doesn't matter if it's a bear or a badger. The bear just gives me more experience points because I swing and hit it more. But you have to hit it. So if you're in a group and you're fighting a bear, you're only going to get the experience points of a fraction of the experience points, because you're not going to take 100% of the bear is not going to take 100% of your attacks. Still fun. This is a gray bear. It's a 34. There's a brown bear 44 that I've seen. I haven't seen above 44 yet. But yeah, the brown bear is quite difficult. Wait. Yeah, I went in a little early there. You saw me take some damage. That's alright. The damage is pretty significant if you think about it. Because I have leather armor. If I had a more advanced armor, it wouldn't have been an issue. So, let's start the episode, because now it's just a walk home with some just some hunting. There's not gonna be a lot of hunting. There is wood over here, so I'm gonna... Where did I see the wood? I thought I saw them. When I'm out of arrows, I always look for the wood because I can craft those arrows. At least it gives me an option to pull single monsters over in combat, or single beasts over in combat. I thought somebody was going across the bridge. I thought I saw the shadows on the water. That would have been really cool to see. I gotta be careful of those guys, because I am not suited to deal with this game. And I can just cross here. Like a true scout. Let's see if we can't run up here. If I can, I'll just swim across again. That's alright. Yep, we can do it. Awesome. Alright. Now we just head home. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do plot planning. I know I showed you my house episodes back. I'm going to show you it again because there's strategic placement that you should be aware of. And when you're looking at clans versus single builds, it does make a difference. There we go. Man, badgers are tough. It only took 22 hit points of damage. See that animal hide that on the ground? Don't care. The animal hide that I got is a better quality. And that's why I'm out here. Because I need to do my leather working. He has to hit the shield once, which sucks. But then you can kind of back away from him, let him attack, go in. Usually you can get 2 swings in. And then the shield's there just in case he gets through. And sometimes they dart forward, sometimes they teleport forward. It might be just the delay in the server, but it's a teleport to me. So I'm gonna call them the teleporting dire wolves. They're phase wolves. Yeah. And they give some really nice hide. And of course, that guy, he's a stag. Stag gives the best hides next to the dire wolves. And every monster I kill, or creature I kill, I get more skinning. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Alright, had to deal with an interruption from a cute kitty. There's some sticks here. So before I shoot the bear, I need bear meat, so this is always an opportunity. Wow, just 2. I'll keep it copacetic. And we'll just fight one at a time. Two bears is should take me about 5 minutes, but we'll get into this episode because plotting your lands is going and making it the most efficient that you possibly can will allow you to level up faster. And if you're in a clan and you're doing professions, you will be able to do shops like the blacksmith shop or the tailor shop, etc. And it really allows you to drive the role-playing version the role-playing aspect of this game, which it's wide open. If you keep a role-playing, I'll go back to my want from the game. Any MMO. A way you can get dialogue by just being nearby, but communication dialogue. Meaning, sorry, that's redundant. Voice. To stop your run or to stop where you're going and literally sit there and type out what your character's feeling, saying the emojis and everything. By the way, you have to watch your wear here, because bears are tough and they do sap your durability. All animals do, but of course bears are unique in that they are really tough, right? And they should be. If you have a clan or a party, or a hunting party. And this is what I mean by... Wow. Can't believe I got him. Ah! I hit the automatic for some reason. Luckily I had the shield, or that would have been bad. I got lucky with one of my bear captures, or the bears I fought. It was an infinite health bear, so I just did this constantly, and I tried to level up as many weapons as possible. Because it would never die, and I get the experience to hit it, so let's use the glitch that would usually kill you. There we go. Well, the pause, you're usually not fast enough. It's when it does its headbutt that you're fast enough to get out of the way for 2 hits. I usually err on the side of caution with bears, because as you can see, the headbutt does 38. The pause, not so much, but it tears up your shield if you just sit there and block it. At the shield level on making, I should say, too. See what I mean? I stepped early. Luckily, I have the potions to deal with this. Not too worried. Alright. Oh my goodness. That's just me being a little bit more aggressive than normal because I want to get back to my house so I can start providing really cool advice. Alright, let's go. Alright, I'm not too far from my house now. So, when we look for plots, they have to be in your home valley. Oh, what's your home valley? Let me pull out the map really quick. Your home valley is your surround. So Gale is surrounded by this beige or brownish border. Shire, same way. Down is this center area. Ardbog is this eastern area. And Ulad is the northern area. And notice anything outside those borders is considered the wildlands, or what I consider the wildlands. I call them the wildlands. This is Mary. This section of the map. There you go. The province of Mary in the region of Gallia. Gallia. Yeah, Gallia. Anyway, I'm here. I need to get here. But I'm in the wildlands right now. They're usually around 1 to 2, half to 1 to 2 to 4 skulls. So it's progressively more difficult. But you can only build within this border, which means if you wanted to build in a spooky forest, you could because you're in the border of the home valley. I tried to get to the edge of the border. I wanted to build here. I don't know why they wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let me build here. I know there was people here though, over in this area. So it was kind of crowded. So keep that in mind when you're looking at a plot. When you start out, you're basically a new character, so you have nothing. You can build a pointy stick and a really crude shield. It's called crude shield. To do so is easy, and it'll get you where you're going. It'll kill most animals with a couple shots because remember your skills are going to be at 1, right? So don't think you're gonna just blow by the or take out a bow and kill a deer with 1 shot because your skill's not that high. And I'm using wood arrows to take out these things, so it's I'm a little bit more advanced, and when the game starts again, I will be back at level 1, so I'll start the podcast over. Hopefully, I can keep my name Emphyr. But as you're walking through your home valley, there are dangers. So you want to get the Nisus rock. You want to get sticks that you gather so you can craft a hammer, so you can craft an axe, so you can craft and they're crude, right? So they'll help protect you until you lay your first plot. Now, why am I saying it in this way? The reason I want to say that is because you really need, well, you don't really need, to have fun. I would hope you would have planned your character. If you're role-playing, what profession did you want to go into? If you're new to the game, you're going to have to find what profession you want. So any plot would be okay. What I would recommend, though, is if you lay a plot, it depends on the package you're going to get on subscription. With the package that I bought, I get 4 plots. So if you have characters that are in a clan, that have bought into the game, you have four plots per character. And there's ways to make your clan area bigger, but I'll show you some of those as we approach town, because it's some of the plans and some of the characters have developed Gal really, or Gale, really cool. There's some really cool builds, and some people do art over functionality. Some people do functionality. Ultimately, with the market system, one of your considerations will have to be, do you want to be, or do you want to have a market? And if you want to have your market, I'm going to say it, location, location, location. Because where I live at the river, unless people know I live there, they're never going to see my markets. So there's going to be no spontaneous purchases. They'll have to know I exist, and they'll have to search out my markets, which is behind my house. And I did some upgrades to my house, so as we approach, I hope you find them adequate. So as we get to the border, I'm going to do these sprint tricks so we can get to the houses a little bit faster. Now, one of the people that I know, one of my friends said, if you wait to the border and then hit the shift button after the border, not before it, and then run, you should get the sprint bug. And it looks like, can I do it right? Can't tell. No, I didn't. Nah, I'm just running. Yeah, I'm just running. That's alright. I'll figure it out. It's a timing thing. I usually just hit the shift before. And well, while we're passing, notice the plots next to the road. Now these guys, I'm not sure, they haven't been here in a while. Their plots really haven't grown much. And one way you can find out where people live, let me go get a hammer and we'll take a tour. But as you can see, if you want to lay your plot near a cliff, like this person did, it looks really cool. But you also get the added benefit if you laid your plots close enough to the cliff to actually, come around, build down the cliff, which is really cool. It's a great idea. I think if you look across, that's a 2 plot plus. He basically strung his plots. How should I say it? He looks like he or she, I should say, because I don't know who that is. The straddled the mountain. So as you can see, he's all the way across the other side of my house, right? The other side of the river on my house. And it's a huge area. So I'm wondering if that's a clan or not. And as you can see, I built the roof. I hope you like it. It's pretty cool. Finally finished a house in Pax Dei, meaning the exterior anyway. I put some furnishings on there and some flower pots. For now, let's put all this stuff away, and we'll show you the other pots. Okay, so I'm putting all the leather in here, and I'll worry about working it later. This is not the podcast for learning leather working. Okay, I got way too much meat. I don't need that meat. It's so much. Organization is really good it will benefit you in the long run, so don't ignore it. And before I forget, because I will, I'll repair my shield and my weapons. And this is what I mean by setting your house up. My blacksmith, my smithing is here, my forge is over here, my carpenter's bench is over here, and then my weapons, armor, and fletch is over here. Now, the one thing I didn't do, and I should have, I put my leather upstairs, my leather working upstairs, and I'm okay with that. it does. It's a little inefficient, especially when you're repairing your leathers. Alchemy seems to work out, and I put a barrel here. So keep in mind, the barrel carries the water. It also carries 3 things of coal. It's filtered. But basically, I'd like that area for there. And then the tailor, I made its own corner. I might actually expand the tailor a little bit. I'm not sure how I might do it, but I think I might. I'm not sure. Put some comments in the chat if you think what I should do with that. So the layout of the house in role playing, the 2nd floor is the common area, and the 3rd floor is my my suite, my bedroom. Let me see, what else do I need? I need to put these animals away real quick. The carcasses. I'm gonna kind of go against one of my rules and find if everything has a home, right? For the podcast, because I was hunting to my heart's desire. There we go. Alright. I don't need that many weapons in my home valley to show you, and I want to pick up a hammer. And I will show you what a hammer's benefit is. And I will put all the other weapons. Do I? Yeah. I'll keep 1 healing potion, just in case. Because as I'm showing you stuff, it might not, that's not what I want. That's what this is for. Alright, so right now you see the iconology, my plot. And the lines for my plot appear. So I put 4 plots together, which I thought would be square. But you see this area here? It is a dead zone. See where those 4 lines, where this hole is, basically? I cannot build within these walls. Those lines, technically. They're allowing me to overshoot just by a little bit, because I think the majority of the block is in my property. So I think that is allowing me the ability to build. You can offset your plots. Have fun with it, but if you see a gap, it is a true gap, so be careful there. Alright. That's the best, Oh, Aiden stopped by. He is here to pick up all of this stuff, because I built him some armor earlier today. And let me communicate that with him. Okay, we'll leave him to it then. He has got the armor, and I will wave to him because. Let's see, there it is. All right, so we'll head out, and this guy, this is a clan. So when you look at the clan, it'll tell you as you go, you got Koar's plot shared with clan. So mine's a private. Mine's private, so I don't share it with anybody. That means no one can build on it, and no one can go into my boxes or anything like that. If you share it with a clan, you can still have your private things on your land or on the clan's land, because you can build on the clan's land. But from my understanding, and through a little bit of my friends testing this, if I put a box on a plot that's not mine, the owner of that plot can actually see into the chest. I say box, it meant chest. So you can see data lines, center B and center A. You can actually name those. I haven't found out how to name your plots. But if you bring your hammer out, which is kind of weird, but it's good to build a hammer immediately so you can actually build your plot and craft stuff. This is Platinum's plot, and it's shared with the clan elders and aldermen. So he shares his, but he's chosen a design that looks more like a blacksmith design and a carpenter's design. He has an amazing build, and he's here today. So I won't go into his build and show you because that would be rude without asking him. And then you have other clans that build different aspects for their plots, right? So why did people build where they built? Mostly, it was availability at the end. At the beginning, you're looking at placement for resources. I don't think you'll need it for defensiveness for rival clans or raids of rival clans, because in Home Valley there's on your map that's not PvP. There's no PvP, so there's no quote unquote rival other than maybe you out gather the resources than the other clan. And of course, a consideration is guild members and trade routes, because you might have a guild that expands or is expansive, right? The boy's plot. He hasn't been here in a while. And this is the Stella, so maybe people put this plot next to the Stella. This Stella doesn't get used a lot. So what a Stella does, not your home Stella, that's the day. These little Stellas here, the Petra Day is where your home. These little ones are anytime you're going to die, right? You'll go to the nearest Stella. I guess if you die from these low level, and when you start out, of course, you can die, and that would be the proximity of where you die. So let's say I died at my house. That would actually split. I actually might go here, here, or here. I would hope here. But I haven't determined the game mechanics on that. So that's one consideration. So notice they're round as well. They misshapen when they come in contact with another plot. See how that was round there, and then it got misshapen when it came up with Tamago's plot. And Tamago hasn't built on his plot. He just reserved it. Oh, there's Tamago's plot. So if you look at Tamago, he built there. He put his mark on this one. He came across and made this his plot. And it looks like he has 1, 2, 3 plots. So I'm not sure what he was thinking here, but he has a good position for a trade. Ooh, somebody made that a plot. Interesting. When you walk around with your hammer, you kind of get the immersion kind of fades away. But he would have a great market here, because he could build. Where's this? Oh, that's interesting. This one doesn't have any. Oh, there it is. There it is. His market could come up to this orange line. He's close to forest, some mining. That guy is nowhere near anything up there. That person decided to look at all those ones up on the ridge. They're really far away from most resources. This person only has 1 plot. Who is that? Kiddos. Well done, 1 plot. And this guy is Ambessa. So you can actually go around and figure out who lives where. And it's not kind of cheating, but for the purposes of the podcast, it allows us to view how the plots are made and how the people are building on the plots. So far, and you can tell actually his build structure. That's interesting, because this is Lunela's plot, and I think this is owned by the same clan. Lunela is I think they're part of the clan of Gal, if I remember right. And as you get closer to the clan of Gal, you see this big wall. They did a great job. There's Payne's plot. He's part of that clan, but he didn't make it part of the clan, so the clan can't do anything with your singular plot. You have to invite the clan to do anything with anything. Those towers are way too tall. Out here. Nope. I can't. Out there. Nope. That's Payne's. Now, I know this clan, but I won't bother them right now. But that's the idea of plotting. Like, this one is interesting. I'm hoping this is the same. Shared with clan, Steph's plot. So Steph must have 1, 2, 3, 4. And he has a great position, or she has a great position for the market. So this was really in a nice build, right? Now, what I don't understand is all the storage on the outside and not near your crafting stations. They do have a lot there as well. As you can see, there's 2 rows of chests, and they did a really good job of it. And then they put the furnaces out here. But the blacksmith's table is inside, maybe? Which... yeah. So, there's some strategic resources for your considerations. A good layout, if you know that you're going to be part of a clan, is for a strategic layout of the compound. Meaning, if you all agree to share your clan grounds or the plots, right, and you share the build rights, all of you can build on that plot, which you can create structures that are amazing. So keep that in mind as well as you go through it. But what I think I'm getting at is you can design it, right? You can put the guild hall at the center. You can surround it by the crafting and resource plots or the resource gatherers. In the future, there might be farming. So a lot of these people might need to destroy buildings or structures and rearrange their plots. No big deal. In this game, you retain the resources after you destroy them, so it's okay. That's not a bad deal. And then I'm gonna keep up on my my food. Did the wrong one. That's okay. You got a lot of that. So you can do for large clans. You have that guild, the clan. What this game really lends to is the ability for people and players to associate buildings with actual businesses. For example, the clan that I'm familiar with, they built a tavern. It's amazing. And once the developers allow us to sit in chairs, it'll be a nice, cool time to say, hey, let's meet up at, this tavern. They did name it. I just can't remember what it was. But you name your tavern, and you actually have people come. The people in the surround. You have them come out and have fun in your tavern. I'll get some scanning out of the way here. All right. So as we go down the path, another placement factor is don't put them next to resources. They will dry up the resource. They do not spawn after you pick them up. So you get the market right by the road. I can make all that. Yeah, that's not out of line. That's made out of an iron ingot, so that's actually worth it. But not out of line. And then, as you can see, some people don't have a crafter. Or they spend time on the house up to the point where they're, that's all they needed. Right? They just needed a house to make it look like they lived somewhere. And then they made a nice little crafting area with a market inside. And this is owned by Yarden, and he named it Yarden's Yard Meats. It's a little restaurant here. And that's what I mean by have fun with your plots. Take them seriously up to the point of how are you going to centralize the layout? Or are you going to do a dispersed layout? Like this person's plan looks like it's a blacksmith heavy. The way they built the back building. So keep the crafting areas. Always have a storage next to the crafting area, whether it's a massive storage or a minor storage, like a couple chests. You want to keep those types of you want to keep the items. That's an actual. I want to fight actual inquisitors. So you want to keep a box next to the crafting table, like I do, right? I keep cabinets next to the tailor. What do they contain? All of the things I need to tailor, right? Some people lay lots and they don't come back. And the devs have to get on that. Because as you can see, there's 2 plots here that are sort of being used. I wouldn't even say they're being used. That graphic coming from the cooking thing is a normal graphic. Alright, let's see. Let's go this way, because Wolfston's. He's got a nice little thing going on. See where he goes with it. He might be an individual. He's got at least 2 plots. I don't think that's his up there. Let's see. As we move across, I need some stamina here, guys. Here we go. Thank you. More stamina to work with. Notice how I had mentioned that if you push the plot next to the ledge, you'll get the plot will go straight down, and that's what I mean by it. It'll go straight down where you can craft stairs down the side of the mountain. It's very hard to do, place them properly. But if you get it right, you can have some massive builds that look really neat. And as I come up here, a lot of people, somebody put a public plot. And why did they do that? I don't know the rules for a public plot, but they want people to put the markets in. But I have a feeling that since it's a public plot, the rules apply the same as a clan. So he owns it, so he can go into anything that we put there. Or she, I don't know. But we're not sure of the public plot. Actual rules, and it's Trux's markets. He's a little high on the cost. And there's Dalen's plot. So Dalen put their plot right next to him, or I should say vice versa. But it's a good. I don't know whose plot this is, so I'm going down here. Clement's. So plot placement is going to be really up to you. However, be careful. You only get a limited number of plots. So one thing that I said it once, I'll say it more succinctly. You want to keep the crafting areas near storage, or have storage for working as you're doing it, right? Then you want to use natural barriers to look cool, or defense. Like this epic build. This is why when I came up here, this is an epic build. So he used it for the clan. This is a Mortal Lights plot, and as you can see, his clan basically built all this. I don't know if they built it alone, but it looks amazing, right? But it is part of the clan, so they just took the whole ridge. There's Caramon's hillside, and I wonder if these that might be it for them. But you can see how you can string together plots as your clan. So clans do have advantage for land ownership for sure. I have a limited space and I don't have much to do. Well, I left a little bit for farming because I heard farming was going to be a thing, and I want to try my hand at it. And this is the home Stella. This is where you teleport home from long distance. Basically, you run to the wherever on the map. So wherever you are on the map, if I hit my home shrine button, it would teleport me to the home shrine, which is really convenient if you have a house right next to the home shrine. Let's see. So what's your go-to strategy for planning land in Pax Dei? I have been talking my head off on this because it's one of the more subtle, one of the more overlooked aspects of the game. It's very important. Pain is the So one of the listeners said they know he's from that clan I was talking about, Clan Gale. So thank you for that information. But they have a lot of plots. All right, so I wanted to be strategic to the iron ore resource. Pure iron ore. If I knew it was down here, I would have picked artwork, and I would have been like the closest you can get to the old forest. But yeah, that was I did not know they had pure iron ore in the old forest. That's okay. All right, that's all right. That's a conversation for another matter. When I respawn in World 1.0, I don't know what I'm going to do because I won't be able to level like I did in this world. And just to give you an idea, when I say level, we're looking at these are pretty high levels, with few exceptions. Almost all over level 20, which, from what I'm gathering, in every skill is not unheard of, but it takes a while. It took me from September playing a lot to get there. And then, of course, my combat skills evolve over time, and I'm trying to get more of them. I can't believe I forgot my swords were not 30, up 40. So I'll get that up to 40, and my full arm should be up to 40 as well. And, of course, the greatsword, waiting for my steel. Because I don't want to build a inferior greatsword. But that's preference. All right. Let's talk about. I'll go back to my home, and I'll start to do some of the chores for woodwork or leatherworking. All right. So let's talk about reason. It's not taught in-depth in schools, and I wish it were. The Age of Reason came and went. You know, I think. Let me make sure I know that date. So I'm going to go to Grok and ask when the Age of Reason was. All right. All right, let's see if Grok 2 will give me the skinny. All right, so the Age of Reason generally refers to the 18th century in Western philosophy, particularly in Europe. Also known as the Enlightenment, spanned roughly from the late 17th century to the end of the 18th century, so about 1,000 years. Or wait, 100 years. Excuse me. Historical ages do not have fixed duration. They are defined by significant cultural and scientific, economic, or political changes. So some, like the Renaissance period, could be brief. Others, like the Middle Ages, spanned centuries, from about the 5th to the late 15th century. If you're talking about geological ages, now you're looking at or age or epoch in Earth's history can span 1,000,000 years, like the Pleistocene, which lasted from about 2.6 million to 11,700 years ago. So a little bit of time. So we had the Bronze Age, right? We had classic antiquity. So far, we've had the Middle Ages, the Renaissance, the Age of Exploration, the Age of Enlightenment, Industrial Revolution, of course, and then we are in the modern age. So a little bit of fine-tuning as we go into reason, because it's kind of hard and difficult for me to say that we've come out of an age. I mean, did we just stop thinking and reason just took away? We just threw reason to the side, or was it more that we looked to reason and said we've mastered it, we don't have to refer to it any longer? Wow, that was a lot of hit points. I call them hit points. I know they're health. It just makes it easier when I say hit points. Okay. Let's see. So I find it, going back to the beginning, the basics, helps me progress through my thinking and my learning. This might be trivial for some of the listeners. Others, this might be the first time you're actually looking at reason. I wouldn't say academically, because we're just having a conversation, but we're using all the resources that we can to ensure that it's factual, right? As with any learning exercise, I myself will learn a little bit as I speak it, and sometimes I will get it wrong, and that's fine. Getting it wrong will allow me to further my thoughts, right? My education, my learning. So what is reason? It's a really subtle question, right? The ability to think logically and make sound judgments. Maybe we did lose reason. I'm kidding. Yeah, am I? All right. A cornerstone of critical thinking and decision making. So I did have a podcast where I went over critical thinking. I very much think that it is so important. We should be teaching it at the lowest grade in schools. If you think about it. Yeah. I'm going to say that, and it's just ironic that I'm saying that as we're talking about thinking. So the mind develops when we're younger and as we form it. God, badgers. I hate badgers. Aiden's gonna tell me I'm scared of badgers, but I'm not scared of badgers. Do you hear that battle cry? That thing is freaking wicked. Alright, anyway. Moving away from that death siren. So critical thinking and decision making. Right? In daily lives, we solve problems, we analyze information, and we form balanced opinions. That's what we should be doing as we move through our day. So what's the historical perspectives? Right? So we have the age of reason, like we were saying. But who were the great thinkers of the time? I picked a random 2 from Europe, and then I took, of course, ancient Greece, and then I took China and Confucius. But there's so many. I didn't want the whole podcast just to be listing quotes from ancient philosophers. So let's get let me say these, who said it and what they said, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. So Immanuel Kant, reason as a means to enlightenment. And he did he wrote, I think, Dare to Know. Supre Ode, I think. It's been a long time since I've actually picked up a linguistics Latin, you know what I mean? All right, so he looked at the emphasis on autonomy and thinking independently. When you apply this, you're encouraging individuals to question assumptions and seek knowledge. Question everything, right? That's where it comes from, Immanuel Kant. Rene Descartes, I thought that was a badger, but it didn't scream, so I'm going to erase the bunny. I don't need the bunny. So, Rene Descartes. Descartes, I think it is. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. I think everybody has heard that. It's very popular in media and movies. The foundation of reason, is self-awareness and doubt as the path to truth. I'll say that one more time. That was a twister. The foundation of reason is self-awareness and doubt as a path to truth. The application is using structured questioning to break down complex problems. There's Aiden. He's just hanging around at my house for some reason. He has nothing better to do. Yeah, I'm sure he's waiting for me. But I told him I'm in a podcast. And his armor's more expensive than mine. He's beefy. Okay, I'm just gathering the resources and then we'll continue the conversation. Alright. So I'll have a little bit of time here. Okay. So other philosophical views. So Aristotle, in ancient Greece, reason is a uniquely human trait that allows ethical deliberation. I believe the Greeks called it logos. The application, balancing logic with ethics in leadership decisions. And I can't tell you how many papers I've written with that as the center focus. Confucius. Practical reasoning tied to harmonious relationships and moral behavior. The application, using reason to navigate interpersonal challenges and community leadership. So we have all these sayings, right? This is just the coffee mug, right? Because this coffee mug sayings, wise, but for all too brief a moment, it's only brought out when you have coffee. All right, so the how to use reason. Practical steps to apply reason. Step 1, question the premise. I'll go through them fast and then give you the example. Step 2, gather evidence. Step 3, weigh options logically. So the question the premise. The example would be, why is strategy effective in Pax Dei? Or why is this insert strategy effective in Pax Dei? For example, why is my bear fighting technique effective in Pax Dei? Well, we know that the bear has patterns, so we reason that each motion or each attack from the bear is either going to be one of 3 attacks: a headbutt, a left claw, or a right claw. We also know that the bear stops before attacking, so that allows us to back up instead of taking the hit. It also allows us to reason where the best place to fight the bear is. Why on a hill when you can lead it to a flat or a road? So question the premise. Why is the strategy effective? Right? More than likely, we can boil it down to that's the way they programmed or developed the code, right? Gather the evidence. Analyze the data or experiences to inform decisions. The example would be tracking resource yields to decide where to allocate plots. In Pax Dei, that's not a great example. I let the AI go a little too on its own. You would want to know where the resources are in the closest biome would be a better example. And then you would allocate your plots. The perfect example is I put my house on the river because all I had to do was cross the river, and I'm in the Stonelands, and Stonelands has the iron ore. So I wanted it to be right next to the iron ore. Weigh options logically. So compare the benefits and risks of each course of action. So in my case with my house, right, my plot, let's do that, right? I wanted to be next to the iron ore, which I knew would pull me from most of the people. Only the people who want iron ore would really move to the east part of the map. The other type of person that would try to move to the east part of the map would be adventurers who want to get to other parts of the map on the east, because Gale's on the west, a little faster. That does 2 things. Limitations, right? It limits my interactivity with half of Gale, because you saw how long it took me to even get to the Petra Day. Well, I could have teleported there for sure, right? But I wanted to show you the plots, how people meander through the valley. And there's even more plots on the other side of the river. And there's plots in the wood, the spooky woods, which I found interesting. I don't think I could listen to the spooky woods. Be next to it. Okay, so you want to compare the benefits and risks, right? So what happens with emotional intelligence and reason, right? Because if you're emotional, what happens? Recognize the emotion or emotions, but avoid letting them dominate the decisions. It doesn't say remove emotions. I want to really hit that hard. It says recognize the emotions, but avoid. Doesn't mean you're going to be successful and you avoid letting without making decisions. Balance empathy with logic, especially in leadership roles. I had a whole podcast on empathy versus sympathy. I would highly advise. We talked for an hour and a half. I would highly advise finding that episode and listening to the difference between empathy and sympathy, especially in a leadership role. So when do you use reason, right? Theoretically, you use reason all the time. However, in leadership, you're going to allocate responsibilities in a guild, right? You're going to use reason to do it. We'll expand on these examples as we get through them. Mediating disputes between members and making decisions about alliances or trades. So the first one, allocating responsibilities in a guild. Who wants to do what? It takes little reason, honestly. The reason would be to critically think through how many people you have, how many people want to do that skill. You can't have everybody want weaponsmith. Especially, well, in a small guild. Let's say it's a small guild. Everybody wants to be a weaponsmith. It's going to be hard because everybody's going to have blacksmithing. You're going to have high levels in blacksmithing, high levels in mining, high levels in combat, because you're going to have to go search for the ore, and that'll get you into some certain combats. Then you're going to have to pick up magic talismans from PE play, which means you're going to have to be armorers, and you have you'll have to craft the armor in order to go and get the materials or the talismans. So there's a lot of responsibilities in the guild, and that's where leadership would step in and be that neutral voice. Be like, okay, we all can't be weaponsmiths. We need a blacksmith. Yeah, and kind of guide the conversation to the wants of players, because they want to be here, they want to have fun. You don't want to push somebody into something they don't want to do, right? And if they won't have fun, if they really want to pursue weaponsmithing and say, I guess two you can, it's going to be slow for you. But here's where you take the emotion out of it. Even if you like the person, you're like, oh man, I'd love to have you in the guild, but if you really want to do that, I'm not going to stop you from going to another guild who may want somebody to level up. Right? Take the emotion out, acknowledge it, because you don't want them to leave. But at the same time, sometimes, having them leave would give you more benefit, because you still can, especially in Pax Dei, you can still play. It doesn't, no one's exclusive. It's not like you're married to a clan. All right. So in gaming, what are examples of reason in gaming? Analyzing enemy behavior to plan combat tactics. The bear story is the perfect example. Aiden, as a matter of fact, brought up how the wolf behaves to me, and I started to look at it more closely. And I figured out the pattern there. So sometimes I take a hit, but a majority of the time I won't need to waste my shield on dire wolves. So that's really cool. So each animal has a combat technique. The boar is just gonna hit you until you die, which, to be quite frank, it sucks on your shields dirty. And if you're out in the middle of the wildlands, that's why I take 2 shields. Okay. Let's see. Or just don't approach boars, right? Strategically managing time and resources during quests. So we would, as a group, hopefully individually, use reason to say, all right, what resource do we really want to go after? We have a limited amount of space. If we see this, let's prioritize these. What do you need prioritized? Everybody's gonna put their hat in, their resource in the hat, and that's how you you create or craft those party dynamics. Really? I'll do this, but I can't believe we brought this back. And it's so stupid. Okay. What I wanted is the generic wonder. So we're pause, and we're gonna come back to reason in daily life. When I say pause the conversation, because if I do the conversation and try to manipulate the game, I will be not having a great time. Oh. I'm trying to do this in a hurry, but... And this is temporary. I only did the tanning temporarily until I get enough levels of leathering. I want to get up to fine leather, which I had in the other game. Alright. Did the... Yeah, we did. Alright, and then I'll put the rest of the leather. Hopefully it'll fit in here. Oh, there we go. Did I forget? Oh, yeah, I didn't forget it. Oh, I know. I killed the possums. I know they're badgers. Alright, there we go. Somebody's outside. And now we wait for that. We can go get some food, and maybe I can go get some iron ore. Speaking of. Yeah, my house is coming along. I just really wanted to shine. My cabinets, they are filling up, and I'm loving it. That's bear stew. I don't want fatty boar because I'm not going into heavy combat. Berry syrup. Yep. More, please. All right, need cider and wool. I think the wolf's here. Fine venison. Fine venison. That's it. I can find venison eggs. Which one? Rosemary. So I'm gonna have to go get some. Well, oh, my wolf steaks are made ready. Nice. They're stacks of 20 though. Oh, that's harsh. Oh, it's the same as bear stew, really. But they give you great benefits of health. Not so much stamina, but they last a long time. And they give you a good regen. They're one of the higher foods. So I am happy to store them. There we go. Easily identifiable. Alright. Get some cider. And I'll outfit for mine. I'm gonna have to make some cider. Interesting. Alright. So, reason in daily life. Evaluating job opportunities. And planning personal budgets or major purchases. Makes sense. There's reason through these jobs. Are they good job opportunities? Will they give you what you need? Ask the questions, right? Critically think through these opportunities. Sometimes the shiny of the job might be just the outside luster. When you get in, it might be just front. Do you want to progress, right? These are all questions as you're using the reasoning in daily life. Okay, let's see. So, the gamification of reasoning in use game, when you want to teach people in a more passive way, you could place these in games, right? You can place the teaching or the learning in games, using game puzzles or strategy games to build logical thinking skills. If we were to go into PvE or PvP area, or no, let's say we want to plan a raid into a ruin or a dungeon. We want 6 people, we want 12 people. How are we going to outfit? What kind of potions are we going to have? How many healers are we going to have? How many people want to heal? How many people want to fight? Right? These are all questions that will help the leader reason through to a successful conclusion of the raid. Well, I'm going to call it raids. How about Socratic questioning, right? Encourage others to ask why and how questions. Example, discussing philosophical dilemmas with guild members to foster deeper thinking. Now, this you have to know the person. So I will say this with a lot of certainty. If somebody wants to play the game, and they don't want to think, and it really is fair to say that. Some people are just like, yeah, I'm good, I just want to play the game. Then you don't want to force them to think. Maybe you want to guide them into a situation where they ask questions, but it's not necessary, right? I'm trying to set up this. I don't think I'll need anything other than that. Working on the sword. Got the double spear. Let's go get some potions. Top those off. And that is a health tonic 2. Is there? Yep. Alright. Now I'm pretty much ready to go. Alright. I got 2 pickaxes. Oh, arrows. Always forget arrows. I got the bow, I just don't have the arrows. It's the weirdest thing. I forget every time. Let's see if I can repair this back in. Alright. Oh, these are out here, I think. I made them out here so I didn't have to go in. Oh. Looks like I'm going to need to make arrows. That's okay. I need ore to do that. And I'm not going into combat, so 50 arrows should be fine. Or 100 arrows should be fine. Alright, so just be careful when you want to teach people reasoning in real life. People want to learn in their own way, in their own pace. But if you kind of guide them into it, you'll find that most people would be okay, or they'll be appreciative if they find out that they're asking the why and how. Usually people ask why and how questions, like, how are we gonna do that? We only have 4 players, right? And that's a good question. Never diminish people asking questions. It might sound like they're giving you a hard time, or like they should know. That's okay. They're asking the question. They're participating in life. Let them ask the question and answer it. I find it, especially in even at work, I answer questions over and over and over, and people are like, "I'm sorry, I didn't, I knew you told me before, but I hadn't, And I was like, that's fine. Everybody forgets stuff. You got your own job to do. This is what I'm here to do. If I have to remind you 100 times, that's fine. I'm okay." And that's how I approach life. And I want to be more active in trying to be nice than trying to be cutthroat. During the beginning of my life, I grew up in a very, very sarcastic household. I lived and died by the sword. up until, geez, it was a long time. Now, not so much. I get it. I can hang with people, and I understand it. I don't get offended by sarcasm, but I like to build people up, even when I'm having fun with them. I like to build people up if I can. Let's see. So one of the things that I will, when I get a bigger audience, will definitely welcome is the asking questions. Right? Ask questions of me. Tell me I got something wrong. Let me ask questions back at you. Right? When I ask questions, it's not going to be as a slight. It's going to be literally, I want to learn. And if I think I know of a perspective, your perspective, and I don't validate through questioning, I'm not gonna see. Not that I won't see it as a valid perspective, but I won't treat it. I'll still question. That's a better way of putting it. So we went over plot planning in Pax Dei. We went over the role of reason in gaming in real life. And I can't stress enough, leaders need to reason. They need to be very aware of people, emotions, ask questions, have participation. Life is a participation sport. If you stay silent, and you can, and you're an introvert, because introverts, but a leader should know how to approach people that may not want to be approached, or if they don't want to be approached, know how to communicate with that person if that person feels left out, right? So it's very difficult. It's a difficult situation. It's not a conflict. It's more a somebody gets disappointed, right? He didn't ask me, and we're all human. Right? So everybody has troubles in their lives. Everybody has situations that they wish they didn't have to go through. In work, you just want to get your day over with and do your job as efficiently. And sometimes you want to excel. Sometimes you just want to make it to the end of the day, right? And it doesn't make you any less of a valued resource at the company. To a good leader, a good leader has reason. I'm telling you, that's the biggest measure you can have on leaders is do they reason, or do they just simply demand? It does matter. Okay, let's see. Yeah, and if you want to give me some personal insights on anything we've discussed tonight, comment section is great. And get a chat a little bit more lively. We'll see a little bit more action in the question and answer session, because I will eventually build a question and answer session. Let's see. Key takeaways. Plot planning in Pax Dei. It's essential. Can you get it wrong? Yes. Move before you build too much. Because after you build, like, let's say I wanted to move, I wouldn't be able to. All my stuff, all the crafting, all the woodwork, I couldn't store enough. I couldn't make enough boxes to store all that stuff. And then when I did store it, I'd have to leave a plot behind, build a plot somewhere else, carry all that stuff to the new plot. Pax Dei needs some movers. Alright, so plot placement, very important. And practical and philosophical applications of reason. Please practice them. Look more into it. And let this be the taste so you can go research. and I guarantee the world it will open up to you is amazing. So I'll leave you with the final thought, and we'll say, reason is the compass that guides us through uncertainty. Whether in games or life, use it wisely. So, I won't be podcasting until, let's see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night. So Friday's my next podcast. I look forward to seeing you there, 8 o'clock Central. I will be putting out an post on the day with subject matter. If you have any suggestions or comments on what I should talk about next, please put them in the comments section. Until then, hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Share the show with your friends if you think they would find it valuable or the information valuable. And if you think they would like to see how Pax Dei looks and feels as I play through the Pax Dei world, as I'm talking about all kinds of stuff. All right, I will hold you no longer, and we'll see you Friday night. Be kind to everybody. Be safe. And until next time, have a good day or night, depending on where you're from. And I'll leave you with the outro.
With every step, a lesson learned. From fire's heat to the fields I've turned. The blade and bow, the forge and flame. I sharpen my skills, I play the game. Each day brings a challenge I must face. I train my hands with careful grace. From alchemy's art to the hunter's way, I'll find the strength to seize the day. I carve my path, I walk the line, in the shadow of the ancient sign. Through trial and toil, I'll find my way, learning more with each passing day. The skill of survival, the will to thrive, in a world where the strong survive. I'll face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to fight, to learn to dance. For every strike and every fall, I'm building my strength, I'm standing tall. In the heart of the wild and the calm of the night, I gather my skills, I'm ready to fight. From the herbs I find to the iron I mold, each lesson learned is a story told. The stars above, they guide my hand. As I hone my craft, I take my stand. In the quiet woods, in the mountains chill, I push myself, I shape my will. With each new tool and every lore, I'm stronger now than I was before. I carve my path, I walk the line, in the shadow of the ancient sign. Through trial and toil, I'll find my way, learning more with each passing day. The skill of survival, the will to thrive, in a world where the strong survive. I'll face the night, I'll take the chance. I'm ready to fight, to learn to dance. For every strike and every fall, I'm building my strength, I'm standing tall. In the heart of the wild and the calm of the night, I gather my skills, I'm ready to fight. The road is long, but I won't turn back. The lessons I learned keep me on track. With each new skill, the stronger I grow. In the face of the storm, I let my courage show. I've tasted defeat, I felt the sting, but I rise again with each new spring. For knowledge is power, and wisdom the key. I'm forging my path, I'm breaking free. The skill of survival,